A development, a lot of times it's just taking a piece of ground and cutting it up, and it is what it is. It is how it lays in the land. And we thought this would be a great place to start a legacy, if you will, of environmentally sensitive design.
Just a really nice feeling to know that we're living in a place this beautiful. You feel so much further north.
People are coming here for a reason. We've got the water, we've got great forests, and people are attracted to this great resource. And it makes sense to protect that sense of place, to protect that character of the up north feel.
At Fawn Ridge, we wanted to create a neighborhood that made the maximum use of the resources available, the lakes, the trails, the woods. What we were trying to do is develop a neighborhood that made the most of the natural resources that were here, provided access to the largest number of people possible while leaving the smallest footprint in terms of impact on those resources possible.
Conservation design is a method of development where you go into a piece of property and you identify the natural characteristics that you want to preserve. And you set those aside. And you realize that you're not going to just cut up the entire property and have everybody own one piece of it. You're going to find nice sized lots that fit into the natural characteristics. And all of that natural area will be left for everybody to use and enjoy.
Instead of just any developer coming in and lotting in block, which most developers can do, it's not complicated. It's coming in and saying, wait a minute, what areas on this parcel, on this site do we want to protect for the benefit of not only the people living here, but the fish and wildlife habitat around here.
I have been in front of the Nisswa Planning and Zoning Commission more than any person in the history of Nisswa. Over the years, we had developed, at times, an adversarial relationship because we were pushing to do development on the edges of lakes and in commercial environments. People at first thought that when we laid out our conservation design, the other realtors thought, well, why don't you just cut it into 5 or 6 lots and make it easy on yourself.
When they came into the Planning Commission, they came in with 2 different designs that were allowed by the Nisswa ordinance. And Mark said, this is allowed by your ordinance, and this is allowed by your ordinance. And we don't want to do either one. We want to preserve all that natural area there, but your ordinance doesn't allow us to do that.
They actually supported it. They had to change their ordinance to allow this to happen. And once they truly began to embrace and understand the idea of what we were trying to accomplish here, they were very supportive.
Well, it's a unique concept to this area. There's minimal home sites. There's only 16 homeowners in this 40 acres. And it really makes it feel like a community or a neighborhood. Just the other night I was walking down to one of the day docks, and I looked back and I thought, how amazing, you can't see a house at all. Just preserving the beautiful woods and having walking trails through this 40 acres is just so advantageous. It's non-intrusive to the lakes. You got to look at the entire thing because it's not just this lot, it's not just this half-acre space that we're on. It's a community, it's our land, and we get to enjoy it.
With the projected increase in population, if we want this area to still have any semblance of what it is today, we're going to have to realize that this type of development design is going to be the thing in the future. We have to do it, or we're going to end up with the Twin Cities metro area in the Brainerd Lakes area.
It's not a matter of if this is going to be the model. It's going to matter of when this becomes the model. As we're looking at 20, 30,000 people being added to southern Crow Wing County over the next 15, 20 years, to keep our water quality and to keep our quality of life, we're going to have to use best practices.
It's the Minnesota dream. Children playing, whispering trees, crystal clear waters, a peaceful home on the lake. ETOC Development shares this dream, but it also knows that the dream will fade without planning and preservation. Risking its reputation and financial investment, this family-owned company rejected traditional land development rules to forever change the conventional wisdom. Its philosophy? Share the land, preserve the lakes, and more people will achieve the dream. Today, with surging population growth and an unquenchable demand for waterfront property, the Fawn Ridge neighborhood is a glimpse at Minnesota's best possible future for communities, conservation groups, and homeowners alike. For its lakes area legacy that is inspiring change across the state, the Initiative Foundation and East Central Energy are proud to honor ETOC Development of Nisswa as our 2007 Outstanding Green Venture. Please welcome them to the stage to accept the award.